Good day, viewers. Welcome to this week's episode of the Tales of the Beautiful Game, where we discuss nothing but the world's beautiful game, as Pele would call it. My name is Bayo, and with me here is Mr. Ndete, who is going to be taking us through week 10 of the English Premier League games. I'm not sure if he is ready to predict for me the Liverpool Arsenal game, but we'll get there when we reach it. Welcome to the show, Mr. Ndete.
Thank you, Bayo. Thank you.
Okay. We have been having a quite enjoyable 9 games of this season, with Arsenal surprising many. We are getting for the week 10.
Yeah, we're getting ready for week 10. Other games were postponed because of the passing of the Queen of England. So it's like it's week 9, but yeah, it's week 10. So yeah.
It's quite exciting.
Exciting.
We're also having quite exciting games with teams coming out from Champions League. Do you think that will affect some teams before we go through the predictions?
Yeah, in my experience, I've seen this Champions League thing usually affects teams in the weeks of February, in the last, when going to the last team.
Last phase, the knockout stages.
Yeah, in the knockout stages. In the group stages, usually, there are teams like Manchester City who will be playing teams like maybe say Copenhagen. Their last game they won 5-0. Yeah, Manchester City on
With
paper
that,
versus Copenhagen, it's a given. Manchester United versus Omnia, on paper it's a given. Look, Arsenal were playing, what is the name, Porto Glimt.
On paper,
It's another given. So
Arsenal,
yeah, even the lineup going
to
the
those
lineup
games.
Arteta selected last night, it could tell you that he knows that this team is not
It's
a
a
team
light
that
one.
is, yeah, it's a lightweight. So but then in February, when we go to the knockout stages, it's very difficult because you'll be facing Porto, you will be facing a Juventus, you will be facing an AC Milan. Yes, so those games are very, very tough.
It's understandable. So,
Yes.
okay. So our first game this week, it's Bournemouth versus Leicester. Bournemouth have failed to score in their last 3 home games, while Leicester has conceded 17 away. And 17 away goals away from home, and all their 4 away games have seen both teams score. It has become a PTS, and Bournemouth have drawn 3 and won 1 since O'Neill took over, and Leicester ended a run of 6 consecutive defeats. It's quite interesting states here. What do you see? What do you think will be the outcome of this one?
Yeah, Leicester have surprised many with their sluggish form because they have the players and
Your James Maddison.
yeah, you have a Barnes, you Henacho.
Yes.
So you think that they wouldn't having only 1 win after 8 games, but this is the EPL we're talking about. Anything is possible. So we saw them, the team we're talking about, winning the league in 2016.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
so anything is possible. But I think Leicester has become over the years a very competitive side, and their slump in form was something that is not going to
That surprised
last
many,
forever. Yeah, so I think the win, the Monday win boosted their confidence, and going into this game against Bournemouth, their confidence is high, and I tip them to take this one because
What's the scoreline? What do you think will be the scoreline?
the scoreline, let me just say it's a win for Leicester, maybe by 2-0.
Leicester win, says Mr. Ndeti here. 2-0 to Leicester, isn't? Okay.
Yes.
Our next game is Chelsea versus Wolves. Chelsea are coming from an exciting 3-0 win against AC Milan. It's actually exciting to see Chelsea score 3 goals in a Champions League game. And it seems Graham Potter is cooking something there. Okay, and if you look at this, the stats of the two teams, Wolves haven't won an EPL away game since March and couldn't score in their last 3 away games. And Wolves have scored only 3 goals in 8 league matches. And they've managed 1 draw in 4 away league matches. And the last 2 games, 8 between the two finished as a draw. We are talking of a team that haven't been scoring, but the year-to-year it seems that the last 2 games have been draw. What do you think? Do you think we are seeing another draw?
I don't trust Chelsea yet to be in cruising mode. I think Graham Potter is still getting the grips at Chelsea, and they are not a shoe in to win this one. Wolves, on the other hand, they are a good team. They play very good football. Sometimes they don't win, but they always play good football. They always play good attacking football. They're very good attacking players.
Yes.
Like Podence and who's that guy? Is it Nunes? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they have those guys, and those guys can run rings around any defense. And Chelsea sometimes you can see their defense gets easily exposed, but you never know. Potter is maybe seen something there. Their midweek Champions League win maybe boosted their
And
confidence.
they won against Crystal Palace last game also.
Yeah, it was a tight one. The
Yes.
game against Crystal Palace,
Yes.
actually, in my view, was won by moments of individual brilliance.
But don't you think sometimes you need those moments of
Sometimes,
individual
yeah,
brilliance?
you cannot live on that. Sometimes you really need
Yes.
them, but some
Especially when
Yes.
the games
are
get
coming
tougher,
thick and
yes,
fast.
like this, so
Yes,
you
you
need those
cannot,
individuals that comes
yeah,
up.
you cannot rely on individual brilliance every day. Sometimes.
So, what do you think is going to be the scoreline?
I think this one is
good.
I think this one is going to be tightly contested. I think Chelsea will take it, but by a slim margin. Both teams will score, in my opinion, and the Chelsea will take it by a slight margin, maybe 2-1.
Okay, a 2-1 win
Yes.
for Chelsea, you say.
Yes.
Okay, the next one. Highlight FC versus Southampton. Oh, sorry, Man City versus Southampton. Okay, Man City.
You're right.
Man City
Yeah.
versus Southampton. Okay, to my view, it's now turning out to be the Highlights FC side. Okay, City has failed to score twice. City failed actually to score twice in EPL last season, and in one of those games that they failed to score, it was against Southampton, whom they are playing tomorrow. Yes, and Man City have scored 3 or more goals in 8 consecutive EPL home games, and they average 5 goals per home EPL game. This is stunning. While it's been a year since Southampton kept an away league clean sheets, City are the only side unbeaten this season. The stats favors Manchester City. Everything seems to be going Manchester City's way. What's your take on this one?
This one, if it was, if there was nobody called Haaland,
Yes.
we will spend a lot of time on it and assessing the stats. But Haaland is a masterstroke for City. So because he's human, they actually is a joke online that they are petitioning the government to stop him from playing because he's a robot, but we know he's human. It's just a joke. So maybe one day he will forget his rules, but if he doesn't forget his
Do you
rules,
think it's anytime soon?
not anytime soon. I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Not anytime soon, eh?
Yeah, but he was pulled out at the break in the midweek Champions League game. I don't know if it had anything to do with
But
the game plan
I've seen Pep doing that in the Champions League.
Yeah, he already had done his job. So I
Yes.
suspect he was pulled out because the game he had already been won.
What's the scoreline?
So I think he will be there and will be doing his thing, and this one I'll say 4 or more goals, City win.
Another hat-trick for Highlight, do you think?
Probably cannot be
Probably.
ruled out, but he's going to score. He's a shoe in to score. No, even if it's not a hat trick,
So, a 1,000 rand Highlight to score.
it
This
won't
one.
even pay you 50 rand.
Okay, let's move on. Highlight to score 10,000 will give you 500. If 1,000 can't give you 50, okay, let's move on. Then our next one, it's Newcastle versus Brentford one. Newcastle have been level at halftime 3 of their last 4 games, and Newcastle are unbeaten at home, and Brentford are winless away.
Yeah. Some other time when I was here, I said to my host that the problem with draws is that they give you an illusion that I'm not losing. So maybe you will find
You feel comfortable. You feel comfortable
there's little
then.
to fix because you are not losing.
Yes.
But actually, draws are as good as losses.
Yeah,
So
they lose
Newcastle's
2
problem
points.
is they
Too
came
much.
comfortable with draws.
Yes.
I will come to that later in another prediction. I'll
Yes.
tell you about draws. Okay, Newcastle, since they became under new owners, they want to be the new big thing, but they are still far away from that. Yeah, Brentford is very stubborn.
But they haven't won any game. Yeah, and they are winless away this season.
You cannot bank much on that.
Okay.
This season, but Brentford is Brentford. This one I see a draw.
It's a draw.
This one I see a draw.
Do you see any goals?
Scoring draw? Yeah,
Scoring
draw and both teams to score. Yes.
Okay. So you've already given our predictors a draw result. BTS over 2.5.
Yeah, if you are
so this one,
try that. Yeah,
this one is open
I'm not a
to
gambling person, but for those that do it, try that.
Okay.
You might get rich.
Then our next one is I seem to like this one that I'm about to ask you about, the Brighton versus Spurs one. Brighton coming from a 3-3 draw against Liverpool. Take the lead, 2-0 lead, first half, came back from half time, they find themselves trailing 3-2, showing character, scoring late in the game to get a draw. And a Spurs side, which to me seems to be very rigid to say, versus an interesting Brighton. What do you think? Because now we are talking of 2 teams, and either one, to me, Spurs is a bit traditional. Then Brighton looks to me it's a team that is new in the mindset. What do you think?
Yeah, Brighton is fairly new boys, but they've been in the league. They've stayed in the league for a number of years now. But yeah, they are fairly new boys. But Spurs have been one of the teams, actually, I think there are 4, if not 5, teams that have never been relegated since the EPL came to life. Yes. So I think Spurs, it's fair to say they are the big boys here.
Yeah.
But they are away from home, and
they haven't been good away from home.
And they haven't been impressive this season. They managed to grab the important goals they need, but they haven't been very convincing.
But do you think Conte will allow to lose 2 games in a row?
You don't allow to lose you lose because the opponent is better. But no matter how good you think you are, if the opponent is better, they'll beat you. And if you think I don't want to lose.
But do you think Brighton is a better opponent to Spurs going to this game?
Yeah, going to this game, I think
Brighton has am I correct? Is it number 3, 4, 3, 5?
Yeah, it's in the top 4.
Brighton is in the top 4.
Yes.
So it's number 3 and number 4.
Yes.
Okay. So who is winning on this one?
This one will be a draw.
Okay.
This one will be a draw, but for the benefit of our viewers who bet, I would advise that they bet Brighton to win or draw.
Wow, it's a Brighton win or draw.
Yeah, if there is a winner, it will be Brighton. But
so you're not giving Spurs any chance on this one?
I'm giving them a chance of a draw.
The least that they can get is a draw.
Yes.
Oh, okay. But I think they will win this one 2-1. That's for me.
Okay.
Okay. Then that it's actually the last game of the day, and there's this theory. I'm not sure. I just wanted to check something. There's this theory with gamblers that talks of first game and last game. If the favorite in the first game win, the favorite in the last game lose. Have you ever heard of it?
Yeah.
That page.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I've heard of it, but
So on this one, you're giving
this
Brighton a
is
favorite take.
that's that's like it's like the stories people talk about, but they don't work. Sometimes they work, but sometimes
Okay,
they don't work.
it's theory. Let's move on. Eh? Okay. Now we are moving on to the Sunday games. Eh?
Okay.
Okay. Our first game on Sunday will be the Palace versus Leeds game. Both have gone 4 leg games without a win, 2 wins and 2 draws. And Leeds haven't won on the road on this campaign, while his Palace have won, drawn, and lost twice. What do you make of this one?
This should be an exciting game. This should be a very exciting one.
Is Palace exciting?
Palace are very exciting.
Or they are tactical?
Yeah, Vieira is a tactical manager, but I find something lacking in him. I don't know what I can call it. His players' concentration in the last 10 minutes of the game is suspect.
It's a suspect.
I have last season I counted 6 games where either they conceded a goal that condemned them to defeat or an equalizer in the last 10 minutes. So that is even the last game where they lost to Chelsea, they lost in the 90 plus minutes.
Yeah.
So that is a problem that Vieira seems to not be able to fix.
So what?
But
What's the score of this one?
I tip Palace to win this one. Leeds are a good side. They are going to give them a tough time. They are also going to score. So I'll go with a Palace win plus BTS. Both teams will score, but Palace will take this one.
Okay, great. Let's move on. West Ham versus Fulham. I think it's the London derby.
Yes.
Inconsistent Fulham travels across town to the London Stadium without their talisman Mitrovic, who has scored nearly half of their league games. They are going to this game without their main man. And West Ham won their last 6 head-to-head matches, with their last loss to Fulham as far as 2004. And Fulham goes to this game without Mitrovic, and they haven't beaten West Ham as far as back as 2004. Do you think a surprise is on the card on this one?
No, I think this is back to settings for Fulham. Yeah, Fulham looked very stubborn in the first few games.
Okay.
Maybe they were securing points so that when the fighting, the
Gets
relegation
tough.
fight gets tough, they will be having
So-
some in the pack. But look, West Ham are seasoned campaigners in the Premier League. They seem now to know to stay in the safe zone in the league. Even 2 seasons back, the other season, managing a European place. So West Ham, I tip them to easily take this one.
Okay, it's a straight win to West Ham.
Straight win, they will win 2-0.
2-0 to West Ham. Okay. Then Arsenal versus Liverpool.
Yeah, the big one.
It's the very big one, actually. Michael Arteta is doing wonders there. Log leaders Arsenal, who have a joint second best defense so far, welcome Liverpool, who haven't won on the road this season. Arsenal have won all 4 league games they played at the Emirates Stadium, with both teams scoring. And Liverpool has, however, won on their last 3 visits to Emirates with clean sheets. It's a tricky one. It's an exciting one. Arsenal, I won't say they will stay in that position for a very long time, but they know that if they lose this one, it will be difficult to get that position won again, because if Man City win on Saturday, they will top the league. Then if Arsenal fail to win against Liverpool, it will be difficult for them. So what do you think? Do you think it's already the pressure is already there to the Gunners, or it's still early to say no, even if Man City win? For just before we go to this prediction, it's just generally thinking, do you think if City win on Saturday, it's gonna put pressure on Arsenal on Sunday? A City win, is it gonna put Arsenal under pressure on this Sunday game?
No, not really. I think Arsenal, rather than pressure, they have confidence. No one gave them a chance. If you told me, even if you told me at the beginning of the season that by week 10, Arsenal would be on top of the league and leading Liverpool by a significant 9 points,
Yes.
I would have told you that you're crazy. But look, that's what is happening. So that should bring confidence instead of putting anyone under pressure.
Okay, so a City win won't affect an Arsenal.
No, it shouldn't affect them.
It shouldn't affect them.
Yeah.
Okay, then a Liverpool loss. What do you think it will do to Jurgen Klopp and his boys, who seem to be struggling? Actually, they are struggling because they are not winning games. They've been throwing of late. So, if they lose against Arsenal, or what do you make of? Yeah.
Now, if you lose against Arsenal in the league, no matter who you are, you know that you lost to a big team. So, if you are to build your season around losing against Arsenal, then you might get something wrong, because losing to Arsenal, losing to Manchester City, losing to Liverpool, losing to even Manchester United,
yes.
to Chelsea, you no matter who you are, you know, going to those teams, you no matter who you are, you can lose. So to Liverpool, it's not going to be a big deal if they lose. It's going to be a big deal because they need the points more than Arsenal at this point in time.
And if Arsenal win against Liverpool, to me, they will automatically say to Liverpool, "You are out of this league race." Okay, then let's go on. What's your prediction on this one?
Yeah, this I'm saying Arsenal will take this one. Will take this one clean. I see a tired Liverpool. I see their key players bent out, and I see the Arsenal's young guns blazing. I see them. They are very confident. Their confidence is very high. Yes. So. If they really focus and forget about Manchester City, materially, Manchester City is better than everyone.
Yes.
Even I think in Europe could be said to be better than everyone in terms of manpower on the field. So they shouldn't worry about Manchester City. They should focus on Liverpool, and if they are focused and they get the Arteta gets his tactics right, this is a straight win for Arsenal.
Oh, this is a straight win for
Yes.
Arsenal. Okay.
If you want to say the goal, the score line.
Yes, if you have one in mind, you can help.
Yeah, I think a 2-0 in favor of Arsenal will be safe.
So, Bobby Firmino won't score this one. He has got a good record against Arsenal, you say. Mohamed Salah won't score. He's also got a good record against Arsenal. Sadly, Sadio Mane is not there anymore. But these two have always scored against Arsenal. So you're saying a 2-0. Do you think Liverpool won't get even a consolation in this one?
The records sometimes tumble. I'm looking at the form. Yeah, sometimes the records work. But now I'm looking at the current form and the performance. The Arsenal defense is good. The only team that managed to score more than 2 goals, they've actually conceded more than 2 goals only 3 times this season. Yes, and against Leicester, where they won.
Okay, for time factor, this we can have it the whole day long.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the defense is good. I think.
But I'm not sure about Gabriel. Yes, Salib I can see, but Gabriel I'm not sure. Everton versus Manchester United, okay? Everton play host to a United side coming from a derby lesson actually. That was a derby lesson for them, and after 4 consecutive, they've been riding high. They've won prior to the City game. They've won 4 games, finding themselves to going 6-1 up to 80 something minutes, scoring 2 late goals by Marshall. And an Everton side that haven't lost that lost first 2 games. Lampard side started slowly to say, but they are now starting to pick up. They're starting to pick up the point. They are playing a Manchester United side, which is less convincing as well. What do you think?
Everton are picking up their form now. They are picking points. They won their last game. They are at home in this one. Yes. Manchester United have a good tactician, Ten Hag. It's going to be a tough game. Look, Manchester United, when they won against Arsenal, it was because when the game was still delicately balanced, the manager was clever enough to spot weakness to exploit, and he exploited it successfully and ended up winning 3-1. In the game against Manchester City, unfortunately, there was Haaland. When he realized the danger and tried to implement his tactics, it was too late. You never come back from a 6-1 lead. So,
But to Manchester United fans, I'm told they won 3-2 in second half. So you're right. Then he's a good tactician because second half they won.
They actually say subtract Haaland, they won 3-1.
3-1. Okay, so
yeah, because of his 2 assists and the 3 goals.
Okay, so many you won that game. Huh?
Yeah.
That's so they say. Okay, so what's your verdict on this one?
I'll give it a draw because Everton, as they are also no pushovers and they are at home. And Manchester United is not yet polished, and the reason why I'm talking about the late win against Arsenal and the late surge against Manchester City is to show that this coach the coach is still learning. He reads the game and makes substitutions accordingly. He doesn't have a team yet that he can send out and say, no, I trust you
But
for 80 minutes.
I respect him for so long. I think we are seeing a new Marcus Rashford. Even Marshall is coming here and there. So I think going forward we'll see a different Manchester United. Our last game of Sunday, it's Everton versus Manchester United. Then we move on to the Monday game, which is Nottingham Forest versus Villa.
Nottingham Forest.
2 teams with Champions League that Arsenal don't have. So what do you think of this one?
Yeah,
Champions League winners actually.
Former Champions League winners. when maybe you were not born yet.
Okay.
When they won.
But history is there for us
Yeah.
all. Okay. So what do you make of this game?
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Forest is very stubborn, and like Fulham, they seem to want to gather points early, so that when the going gets really tough, they have points that can save them from relegation.
Okay.
So yeah, Villa is struggling, but I'll give Villa this one.
Okay.
I'll give it to Villa. They know the go in the EPL. They know all the corners, so they are not going to
We push overs,
be pushovers. They are not going to allow a Forest to take things to them. I think they are going to. This is going to be a delicately balanced game, but Villa will take it.
Okay. Mr. Ndeti, thank you very much for your time, and most important, for giving us a fairly balanced analysis on these weekend games. And looking forward to seeing you again in our programs. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you, Bayo.
Thank you very much. Okay. To our viewers at home, thank you very much for tuning on to us. Don't forget to subscribe on Tales of the Beautiful Games. Thank you very much. Bye.